Hello once again, beautiful people, and welcome to Air TV, the show we call Mentor Me. On Mentor Me, as you know, we bring in people that can tell us what they've been, how they've been, and how life has taken them, or what they've made, what life has given unto them. You know the usual saying that says, when you get a lemon, you make a lemonade out of it. So on here today we have someone whose CV I am trying so much not to delve into because it's so heavy. I really want to learn from him today, and I hope you all are going to learn from him. I'll do him the honor to introduce himself to the viewers. You're welcome once again to this program, and I hope you catch what we are catching, which is the Mentor Me. You're welcome, Asha.
Thank you, and grateful for the privilege.
All right, sir.
I'm a person that actually shied away from seeing be on TV. Whatever it is, I'm here already. My name is Asha Akintayo. I was born in 1966, June 21st, to a family of Mr. and Mrs. Asha Moses or Mentorship from Uri in Osun State. After my birth, my daddy was actually moved to Ogun State, then Western region. He was a teacher. My mother was actually a midwife and equally selling petty things. Both of them spoke English before their death. But they let us speak in the English now. The privilege is that when I was in Ogun State, my daddy moved around everything. So I joined him, accompanied him, leaving my mother, our other sibling behind. Posted to Kano in Ogun State, in the Kano State. I didn't resist being posted there. I got to Kano and I was posted to Kasepa, Kano State Environmental Protection Agency. At the point I was asked that I was too much for that place, so I went to a school, to a company called Giwa Right, affiliated to Niger Right. We had an interview and I was taken to serve. After service in 1990, I was retained. And then that was how the history started. I served my ICANN in 1992 November. I had a reference, so served for it in 1993 and I qualified as a chartered accountant. After qualification, I didn't feel qualified. Because I think I've not gotten the experience, just that I passed the exam. So I was in Kano for 11 years. Wow. In the course of my living in Kano, I got married, I got a wife, and I got married to a lady from Igbo land, Igbo tongues. And then in 1997, I got married on my birthday, 21st. But my history was a bit cumbersome. In my opinion, I stayed in Lagos with my young senior brother. At that time, I was cleaning leg at my 12. That time, it was a dirty place that people don't want to live. So I clean leg whenever we used to give people clean their leg and give them rain boots for them to go to the market and come back. That's what.
How many days, sir? You mean after graduating, you came back to do
I couldn't make it. I was at Ogumen because my father had a lot of children outside his non-biological that I was compelled to actually do something to assist.
Wow.
So my university, I was coming to do that cleaning.
You were coming from the university to do that?
Whenever I'm on holiday, I stayed in Abiola off Lakore Road, not far away from Opanlearo in Ketu. I was going there to do it. What interested me there was that I never knew that one day I would pass the same place with a car. I wasn't born with a silver spoon, but I was born with a privileged spoon. Privilege of being able to believe in your tomorrow than your yesterday. My daddy taught us that we have 3 days to live. Yesterday is actually gone. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today, my daddy told us that they call it present because it was a gift. So always, as I'm sitting down now, I'm sitting there, this might be my last interview. What would we learn from me if tomorrow come and I'm not there? Because there are a lot of mystery between now and tomorrow. Basically, I'm a human being. I have a master's degree in business administration. I'm a fellow chartered geologist. I'm founder and institute of ICANN. I'm actually a member of the Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. I'm actually part of the Institute of Logistics and Transportation. I'm a member. I didn't delve into it by accident. I chose to do it because I knew people that don't retire are the people that work in transport sector and they are not educated as I am. And I realized that being an accountant, I would have ended up looking for contract everywhere. But I can actually, I tried myself.
You know, sadly, just a minute, because I mean it's looking quite interesting to the point that I want to just pause a little bit and ask you one question that's in my mind. What would you say was your push? What would you say? I mean, a young man looking at you right now, I mean, looking at your age and how you've come a long way compared to what we have today, where our society is pushed with a lot of vices and young men are not even taking. Some people say education is not even important anymore. So, please, because this is what the program is all about, what would you say was your push in life? What would you say? What can you share that's a push that I could take off from your person that I can put to work and see be your kind of person in life, sir?
First, see, I'm just like a generator that cannot, it's so small to carry the whole light at home. But when you start by switching off everything and you put light from fridge, light to fridge to air, one AC, that generator will be able to work it. I was born with a little, but I have a dream that is larger than my family fund. So I told myself that I want to be like some people. As far back when I was young, I was writing to corresponding college and I have a bundle of books. So by the time I was doing WAEC, I've already gotten, I picked leaders from my generation. I had mentors. And whenever I see you in the environment and I see you carrying books or doing things, I always approach them to ask them what makes them to be who they are. What gave me the privilege of being pushed is that I believe I will one day be driven by a white person and I'll be in that car that I want to study to show myself approved. An instrument that can determine, not by the name of his father, but by the privilege of what he can say and how he does it. So I chose to get myself educated, not necessarily to get enlightened, to be able to enlighten others. And it has been my dream. And I know I can't find, the push is that, who told you that elephant cannot dance better than a dog who has a tail? So I don't choose to be an elephant that can fly. No.
Wow, an elephant that can fly.
Yeah. And I flew.
Yeah, Lord, that's powerful, sir. I mean, think about the size and the weight of an elephant.
Yeah, it flies.
And then you consider it flying.
It can't, because if you train it to do it, do it.
So in essence, what you're simply saying is to the young man out there, to myself and to our team viewers,
Believe in yourself.
believe in yourself.
Trust in that thing that people don't trust in.
Trust in that thing that people don't trust in.
Don't do things, don't sell food that you can eat.
Don't sell food
That you can eat.
that you can eat.
If you are fat, don't sell clothes that is your size.
If you're fat, don't sell clothes that's your size.
The reason is that when you are petite and you are selling clothes of a petite person, when you couldn't get sales, you're beginning to use them. If you eat what you love to eat, you will end up eating them. But if you can't, you look for it.
So if you simply saying, if you're selling what you will eat, if you don't get clients, you end up eating it. It's quite interesting. You know, you talked about people who mentored you, who you looked up to, who you wanted to share space with. Okay, I'm going to ask you two different questions, but I don't know in the order you want to answer.
Anyway.
First, I want to ask you, what are the names of the people or people you actually, your time, look up to? And what was it like being around them? Were they receptive to you? Were they open to you? Did they teach you what you actually wanted to hear? Did you have the opportunity to be close to them like I am opportunity to be close to you now? That's one on one end. And on the other end, I want to find out, do you have like a platform where people of your, when you were, say, somebody in your shoes, when you were in your early teens or early 20s, with that aspiration and that thought and that hunger in your mind, would you have that kind of opening that if someone wants to reenact who you were before and want to have you as a mentor, do you have a space where that is possible?
Sure. Since when I was in Kano, I rented 8 bedroom. And anybody that came from the south who did not have accommodation were accommodated and they were fed.
Wow.
Yeah. And that is where I discovered myself. My son was fully deaf, and I opened the school. I opened the for the hearing impaired and deaf. But at that point, somebody told me, if you launch it, people might think you wanted to generate money for that guy's survival. So I chose to hold it, but I did the registration. But I can tell you, the boy has graduated for computer science with a good class without any help. In my community, on the street, I look at you whenever I'm on leave, anybody walking around who ought to be in school. We choose to, I got paint, so I only bring them to school to study. And I can't see a mechanic too young to learn mechanic. I always ask them to go to school. So it has been a privilege. And I don't want to link number. My daddy passed on in 2009, in 2004, but he left us with scholarship. In Nire Baptist School, in Nire community, my family has not less than 51 people on scholarship. We don't know them by face, but we have never denied them their place of school fees. Because when my daddy died, people that attended were not his children. So I feel that when I eventually pass on, I believe that whoever carry me is the undertaker. And it could be any of the people God has used me to help. It's a privilege to help people. That's what I can say. Wow. But my mentors are several. And none of them have not written to. I have a deaf and blind. And I used to write to, and she always write me. When you look at my Facebook, you see some of them in that. The Pastor Nick is my actually very close person. He has no leg.
Okay. So we're gonna go for a commercial break right now, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, so welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, I would like to say this, and I know we've had a bit of conversation off camera, but it's okay. From what you've told me so far, or what you've shared with me, because I'm taking it personal because I feel I'm in fact beneficiary of what I'm hearing here before the audience. So, from what you've told me, which is, I like to personalize it, I've seen all your reel, and the few, I know there's more, we'll get to those where I'm going to get to, but at this point, I'd like to know, sir, because there's something you did when you walked into the studio. And you walked into the studio and you were right on time, but you still apologized. Even though it was still a few minutes to the time you were supposed to go on air. Now, I mean, I understand, we understand how Nigeria is structured, timing and everything. What would you say is what makes you think in this direction? I mean, what makes you do all what you do, but you're still very modest? What's your watchword?
My father still lives with me in my mind. was the headmaster of every school I went in primary school. Anytime I came late, I was always flogged, along with other children. Whenever I go, I have an opportunity to meet people. I even sent message to the MD or the CEO that I will be coming by 15 minutes to. And also, later I found out I would be 5 minutes late. I sent to him. But that was to him. But when I got in, I saw many people waiting for me. I remember I felt my dad was at the gate, wanting to flog me. Because punctuality is sort of business. And when you have the stuff to stay and wait for you and be at the meeting, and you always come late, you will turn them to late come. Because they have presumption that you might not come early. But when you come early, you push them together. And you need to be at an interview for at least 30 minutes before interview. And that is a sign that when you resume, you might likely be a punctual person.
Wow. So, in essence, what we become, even at adult age, is a function of what has been instilled in us while we're still growing.
Not necessarily so.
Okay.
A mango that is on tree, that is reaping, and is not plucked, and no bird pecks it, will remain mango for the second season. Over time, we choose to take a habit and we grow it to become an addiction. Two things: pride. Because of my position, if I come there, they have the right to wait for me. As Madam Fudo said, conscience is an open wound, only truth can heal it. If I delay my children from going out, I apologize to them. And if they do, they apologize. It's not, once in a while you get late, but when you first of all apologize for what you have done wrong, you stand the chance of being forgiven before you are asked, why were you late?
Wow. You know, it's when you look at it from every angle, you are. I will say it again once again. Meanwhile, viewers, my name is Judo Bunayalo, and as a presenter here, I tell you, it's one of the most beautiful things to be around people who has seen it all and can still put all. This is not just a show. This is the reality. You are seeing an epitome of everything we call a mentor. And sir, back to you. I just had to say that to the audience, which is very beautiful. I want to believe. Sir, now, if part of our audience also have a link with you, because personally, I'm going to put you, sir, as one of my top number that I can put on the speed dial and say, sir, what do you think about this? But for what I've gathered so far, reading and one-on-one mentorship was part of what brought you where you are. You had a mentor, either book-wise or people you can relate with, and then you are an ardent reader. You study a lot. So, what would you say to this generation coming forward? Because it seemed like education was so what it was then, and it's a bit different these days. People don't even value education anymore as such. Somehow, I feel so. We are being distracted with a lot of things. What would be your candid advice to the teen youth that are looking up to you, that want to be like you? How do they deal with this situation?
It's a very tough question. But the tougher it is, the better for me to relate with. I didn't read. I studied.
Great.
And you can study. The education does not necessarily mean classroom. It means that you can study someone. You can imitate someone what he does. That's one of the person I watched in Yoruba film. He could speak like any. He has a way of making any of those actors. And I asked myself, is he having more than one vocal voice? Does he have more than one mouth? He studied them. He listened to what they say, and he began to say them. Imagine you are meeting a person that is deaf, and is going to school of people that are not deaf, and you are asking him. This guy started getting A in mathematics, so weak in English because he wasn't hearing them. It implies that learning mathematics is by studying the hand of the person writing on the board. Taking away handwriting from the board, school board, has affected many people not to learn handwriting. Is it not true?
Yeah, you're right. Very true, sir.
So when he says, when I finished studying, I started reading. Read means that you want to know about things. Study, you want to give it back, to be given, to be assessed. Our youth we have today, in our younger age, we have associations. We have library studies. We have in our community football team, different rivalries. But we have one patron, a matron that we look up to guide us to get to where we are going. But these days, we so believe in that I've read enough, or I didn't read at all. Many went to exam hall to quickly read a week to the exam. I never read a week to the exam. I study my book every day, and by the time I get to the class, even when I was sick, I was able to recall material things I do. Youth of these days don't pick mentor, they don't pick neighbor to look up to them to say, this man, let me go and watch his car. I watch people several cars in Somolu, number one around on the street. I used to watch that man car. When I watched it, the man told me and said, God will make it to have cars.
Wow.
So watching somebody else's car, when my daddy lost his own, made me to have belief that someday somebody will wash my car for me. And I can say it now that I never asked somebody to wash my car. People volunteer to do it. Payback day is here. So the youth we have this day, they don't pick mentor even on the street. If I see in the vehicle, I will ask you, can you be my school father? Ask every child now, except private secondary school, where you pick a school father, a school mother. The purpose is to have somebody higher than you to tell you the basic things of life that can make you different.
Wow, this is quite interesting. So, sir, my final question to you now is: Paraventure want to have. I mean, you've written. Okay. I'll rephrase. I actually said I was going to ask the last question, but second to the last question. I'll come to your career path, which is your job experience, what you do, what you do. But before then, I want to ask this, which is very, very key for me. If you want to have people learn under you and take you as a mentor, like you said, some of us don't ask the question, and you mentor me. How flexible is your schedule? Which is what would lead me to your career, what you're doing right now, and your work. How flexible is your schedule to accommodate that? Do you have any like a framework where you could meet people, younger ones, because you might have more than one or two or three? I know you have what you do for people, all the philanthropic work you've been doing so far. But what about just people where they need to ask you, they need to talk to you as a father? You know, one of the things society is missing right now is a fatherly figure. Fatherly figure with what I call moral. Father figure who has moral, who can teach even with moral, because there's a decadence in the society today. So, do you have any plan to have a space where if our viewers want to reach out to you and say, okay, I want him to be my mentor, I want to learn one or two things with him personally?
Yeah.
Do you think that's
I'm always available.
Okay.
About 2 weeks ago, I met a lady, Fatima. She has one leg. But she was smiling. I met her in the Polytechnic. She's a student. And I call her, can you be my mentee? Because you smile in pain. I appreciate that. I'm always available. Available in the sense that no matter the course the person wish to study, no matter how abstract the study may be, you asked me, I was an accountant. I used words every time. I walked out of accounting in 2013 to move to logistics. I can actually fix all the electrical in this office. I have 3 kids. None of them read accountancy because I didn't choose for them. Should any of my children wanted to become a dancer, I will create a room for him with a big sound system and I will expose him to the world. Anybody that wants to speak to me, there are one caveat about my speaking to people. I don't know whether people will understand Yoruba language I want to do. I want to make a cap. I need your advice. That is for your advice. But when you bring a cap to me and say, look at this cap, it's just for my information. I would have been a scientist, but in the course of my going to secondary school, they took me to a education counselor came and advised that I shouldn't be an accountant, I should be a scientist. I would be recluse. That I ended up not even believing in God. But my daddy wanted me to believe in God. I wish I could be a prophet and a pastor. So I agreed that whatever they said we should do, myself and my elder brother in Canada, and I chose to become accounting. From I was born till now, I've never had the cost to have any regret to be an accountant, but I could do all things. I've counseled people to be who wanted to read accounting. I had them to read French. And they asked me why. Because he has here for language. He speaks both TV language, he speaks Hausa language, and he speaks English fluently. And I asked him, the parents said no, he shouldn't read French. I said no, let you go and read French. Because you are surrounded. What do you call somebody should assist me here. What do you call a pool of water surrounded by land? That is a lake.
Lake, yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Abi, but an island is a land surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Nigeria is surrounded by English, French-speaking countries. If you study accounting in Nigeria, you have the language and you speak the language, you can work in any of the Francophone countries. When you want to apply to Canada and you speak both English and French, in Quebec they speak French, and in Ontario they speak English. And that country they speak other language and the two. When you apply, between myself and you with the first degree, you will, because you speak French, you can move from any others. And you can apply to French where you can be speaking the two in English. You could be posted out to Canada to somewhere. The guy applied after graduation from BUK, by Eurocana. Today the guy actually works in consulate in Canada. Wow. The reason is that I find out that it's better when you speak French because you have ear for language. What will I ask a deaf to read? I will tell you. So I'm available. I have an open space there that people come and rent for events. Whenever they came, somebody will ask me sitting down. They said they want a hall. I only direct them to the next hall. People ask me, why are you not promoting your business? I think the person wants hall. But after the COVID, there was this problem. People pay for wedding, but they couldn't. We now ask them to send their account and we pay back. And people say, why do you pay back? I say, what affected them affected me. And I remember I used their money, other people's money, to make myself comfortable during COVID. So by the time I was paying them back, COVID was over. But they were happy that they collected their money. And because of that, they started directing people to that event center. So you have to sacrifice before you get. So anybody ready to be mentored, let them ask me a question. Are they ready to listen? Are they coming for my advice or for my information? Person coming for information, you cannot bend their mid of their mind.
Right. Okay. You actually talked in daring from where you went from accounting to what you do professionally. Now tell us, you've talked so much about your accounting experience, which that's your field of study.
Yeah.
Now, you're not dealing with accounting right now. So what are you really into
In 2013, when I left accountancy as its general manager of finance, our previous school in Nigeria, BSc, I went to logistics and transportation, and I got a job with Lagos Asset Management Limited, which is the government, and I was their chief finance officer. When you see chief finance officer, you'll be looking at you are still in finance. No, I now deal with as little as a passenger. I deal with kilometer. I deal with how much do you spend on the kilometer. And I do what does 1 naira become 200 naira. And I was able to say that I have an understanding of buses from, I was in Briscoe, it's in maintenance. Now I was in lab bus. They run buses to repair themselves. From there I moved to Infrastructural Bank under the government initiative of bus reform. So from there I worked for 12 years, and I got another job with Primero BRT, where today I'm CFO. And all we do is that we deliver people from one point to the other. And we depend on so many fundamental things to make you available. If I joined Primero in 2021, July, but I can tell you with confidence that being a transporter gives you privilege to be mentally alert. But what makes somebody to have all this serious abuse of memory is because you are not engaging your brain. So my brain is, when you engage your brain and you interact with people that are normally by your profession, accounting, you wouldn't want to deal with drivers, you wouldn't want to deal with people on the road. But if you can cope with drivers, you can cope with anybody, and you can be friendly with them. So what we have succeeded in doing is to be happy where I am. I'm a transporter, and I sell, and I have an open event. That's transport alone. Give me pleasure to tell people how transport is. But the question is this: how do I like transport? The youngest of my car is 13 years. The oldest of my car is going to from 2009 to date. If you see it, you won't believe it's that car. I don't believe in buying new cars, and I don't pray to ever buy.
Wow.
Edison never bought a new car. Go and read about it. But they were buying cars that can give them comfort beyond other comfort. So anything you are buying that give you comfort, people don't understand, go for it. Don't go for things that attract people. Go for things that wonder about you. Why does he do that? Wow. So there's nothing you have in public schools. But the parents, the parents don't know me.
Wow.
But they know my name. My modesty is a bad one. It's like a lion, gentility of a tiger. It's not within ability. There is a pride in me. There are places I will go. I will be proud. I will pride myself to that place. I will walk with tall. Because those people sitting down there, they are older, and they never believe in me. They never trust I can give. But when I walk in and I preach that, you will be saying that, what would this young man do? But after presentation, I get so many compliments. Immediately I do that, they became my friend, and they're older than me. So in the next time I look for opportunity, I will remind them I was the person that made presentation that day. Can you be offered to me? So give it back to me. So I'm not modest, but I'm only being Nigerian. Nigeria is the best people to be approached.
Wow.
I can tell you.
Wow.
I can tell you. The approach matters. I'm telling you. I've been abroad. People that assisted me mostly they are Nigerians. Because they saw that I'm real. When you are real, people will help you.
To the end of today's show.
Thank you.
And Mr. I really want to call you mentor already. Like, if I want to put mentor to your name and say Mentor Asha, I don't want to call you Mr. Asha, but I want to ask.
I like to be called Asha.
Okay.
Because that is the only name they name my family. All my children are called Asha. All my children are called Asha because the name look funny. But I want to say thank you to your TV.
I would love to hear your comments. Like you said, Mr. Asha is readily available. You can actually reach him. But I want to see your comments, your opinion, and your questions. To the young and timid viewers out there, this is an opportunity you don't want to miss out. If you have anything you want to reach out to, get on that platform. Send in your message and reach RTV channel. The number will be scrolling on later on. You will see it, and then you can call in to talk to the TV board, team leaders of ATV Africa. So on that note, I want to say a very big thank you for coming once again. And last word to our viewers. What would you say to people? Like just one last word.
All of you there that feel you can not. If elephant of my size that has no family wing, no prior reputations, go fly. You can. Not only can, you can make many other people to fly because you are flying. I'm ready to fly with you. Then improve your listening ability. Your listening ability will help you to grow. Unlearn that thing you believe is correct. Ask and work. Don't make promise you cannot go, bet it will work. Thank you for having me. My name is Asha Akintayo. Now eating with silver spoon. But with plywood spoon years ago. Joining with the rest.
Wow. And I want to say a very big thank you for everyone viewing. See you next time. Catch ya.